elk. And as you can see, I'm here with my good friend, Joaquin, the Celtic hunter. But I think he should have a kilt when he's out here.
That's more Scottish, man.
What's a Celtic then?
I mean, if they like make a camo one, I might consider it. But my legs are pretty white.
Yes. Yes, they are. Anyways, well, I hope you enjoy our little glassing podcast while we're out here. Because two dudes in nature, what could go wrong? I mean, it definitely was not a rock. It wasn't a bush. It was definitely moving around.
Think it went up and over?
Huh?
Think it went up and over?
I'm not sure. By the time you sat down, it went.
Oh, wait, I see it.
Where's it at?
It's still 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I think it's a moose.
No shit.
Yeah, I don't see it now.
It's massive as fuck, right?
Yeah, it's going to the left. Like more towards the rock, like more towards 12 o'clock.
Is it higher or lower? Is it cut in the middle?
Yeah, it's like, you know how if you're at 1 o'clock and it starts going downhill on the ridgeline, it was going that way. Same spot.
That motherfucker is massive.
Yeah, I think it was a moose.
Fucking moose, dude.
It's bullwinkle.
Yeah, we gotta get a spot and scope. You know, it's funny. Internet's gonna be like, you don't need a tripod. Like, bitch, if I had one, don't you think I'd be using it? Dude, I love the internet. YouTube is like a whole different beast too. They're so fucking mean.
Is that the face tat one? Was YouTube?
Face tattoos, nah, fucking.
Your fucking yawning emoji? That shit had me dying.
Everyone's like, there's people on the internet. They're like, I don't understand. Your face tattoo keeps switching sides. I'm like, bro, do you have any fucking common sense? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm like, front-facing, rear-facing cameras. Like, critical thinking, dude, is like not. It's so sad because you know why it's sad. It's not because I can't decide which fucking side my face tattoo is. It's sad because when they go to do research, if they decide to ever do research on literally anything, they'll probably go to like the first slide of a Google document and like be like, oh yeah, that's all the information I need.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Or they're like, man, this guy was never in the Marines. He was in a fucking whatever. I'm like, dude, did you even click on my profile at all? Like, it's just. It's sad, and these are the fucking people that are voting, procreating, and standing with little picket signs saying, you know, cut off your PP and fucking free all the fucking oppressed people. I'm like, bro, you're such a slave, you don't even know. Dude, where is that monster at?
I think he went into that big bush.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that thing was fucking big though.
Oh. What, you think the internet's gonna comment on my tactical hunting boots?
You didn't even polish them.
Oh, he ain't taking hunting serious. He ain't wearing real boots. Why are you wearing a red beanie out there in the woods? People are crazy, dude. Grandpappy went out there with like red and black flannel and like smoked
Fucking
like
Wranglers
world record trophies.
with a lever action.
People were like, but you need, shut up, people. Oh my God.
There's so much land to cover.
For glassing?
Yeah. Which is pretty fucking rare for up here.
I mean, shit, at least we got to drive up this damn thing to get to the top, you know?
Yeah, instead of hiking it.
Yeah. That would have sucked. Especially with my rain boots. I feel like I should have field sketched this thing.
Should have what?
I feel like I should have field sketched this, but for simplicity purposes, see the white rock?
Yeah.
We'll call that Alpha. Bravo, we'll call, see
That patch?
yeah, the green patch in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Charlie, we'll call the fucking, actually we'll go Alpha's the white rock, Bravo's the green patch, Charlie is this other opening circle, and Delta is the one to the right. Okay?
Which one to the right?
See the
lower growth shit?
no. See how it's like a circle, circle, circle?
Yeah.
We'll go
Okay.
rock, it's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta.
Okay.
And then we can just talk on clock directions from there.
Alright.
Like every time I used to go out, like we used to, like in the military, we did like a fill, you know, the fill sketches.
Mm-hmm.
We do like a fill sketch, a range card, and I love that shit. And it's so stupid simple, it just makes the sense. And with hunting, I'm realizing that there's a lot of like military stuff I can incorporate.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially this glassing kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like exactly what you're just talking about.
Yeah.
Like that thick stuff, I mean, you have like your shooting lanes and you can get your ranges and shit, but that's about it.
Right. Dude, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world and on the internet recently. All that Palestine and Israel shit.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though, is that like these emotionally controlled fucking people, they're like, but Cody, it's an atrocity. I'm like, yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. But you know what they're not doing? They're not televising you all the raping and the genocides taking place in Africa. Because no one cares.
Yeah.
Because without Africa, you wouldn't be having your little fucking Tesla or your iPhone.
Not only there, but you look at like what the cartels are doing and shit, like none of that stuff's on the news really.
Because it's not like a religious thing. It doesn't tie into an agenda.
Yeah, it also takes place like multiple times a day in multiple different locations.
Dude.
So it would be, everything on the news would be that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing people don't understand. Like, I mean, it's actually, I take that back. I bet they do understand like the TV shows one-sided, but the thing is, all I gotta do is show you dead kids, or even worse, not even worse, but equally as bad as they'll show you like the religious genocide, and it just triggers everybody. And then I see my friends who are all like little freedom fighters, and they want to do their part, right? They want to like help the world from being an unjust place, and I get that. But you know what? I don't also see these same friends like rushing to go down to the border, you know, in the United States to keep that shit safe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand about the people there. Let's send, for the governments, like let's send all of our money out of the country, and then for the citizens, especially these veterans who are like feel a lot of veterans, I imagine, I personally don't, but I feel a lot of veterans probably feel like very distraught about like the Afghan downsizing, you know, your older generation of veterans with like the Vietnam War, right? All these unjust things. Like, I get comments all day, Cody, when are you going to openly condemn the war and how you were illegally there and participated in it? I'm like, dude, yeah, I was in the military, bro. I went on deployments. I did some shit. But it's not like I was just like waving the freedom flag the whole time. I just enjoyed my job being a scout sniper. I didn't enjoy all the things that I had to do or part of. And then you get out, you're like, you try to look at things objectively and differently, and then I still have the same friend circle with some of them like more acquaintance now, but I see them online, they're just the next flashy thing. I gotta go rescue all these people from Afghanistan. I gotta go fucking save the world over here in Israel and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, dude, you didn't care about this shit before it was to hit the news. I don't see you rushing to Africa to save those fucking kids. The more I like do some research and I hear from these like the people, especially with the Operation Underground Railroad, about how many kids get murdered on the regular is insane. Or what do you call it? Like mutilated.
Mm-hmm.
It is insane. But I don't see people on the internet flocking to the jungles of Africa somewhere because it's not televised. There's this one page I follow. I don't even know why I follow it, but I might change that. They showed like this like whole roster of like all the Americans that have been killed in the Ukraine war or Ukraine conflict.
Yeah.
And it's just sad, dude. Like all these veterans.
Yeah, because hella people went over to volunteer, right?
Yeah, for what? Cody, they need us. Seriously? Your community needs you. Your country needs you. Your family needs you. That's what I just don't understand. It's like so many people are like running away from shit. It's the whole like last Mohicans thing. Bro, all you gotta remember is when the redcoats come, you don't go to town square waving a pitchfork. You stay at your homestead and you defend your family and your community. If not, they all get raped and they all get murdered. I understand why people want to go help. I do. I really do. Especially if they're like in this current day and age of what's going on. Not only are they emotionally controlled, but now with Israel, they're like, oh, I mean, I'm Jewish. But my Jewish people that I know, they're like, oh, I got to go save the world over there. I'm like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why people don't see like what's right in front of them. But I also get it. I used to be controlled. And the sad part is I was talking to some people too, and they're like, yeah. They're like, let's go to war. I'm like, God, you clearly have never, ever held your friend's guts inside of his fucking belly. You've never, ever, ever experienced this shit firsthand. It's all fun. It's not about going to get some.
But that's what's in the movies.
It's fucking so stupid, dude. That's one thing I hate about like social media is like the glorifying. Like I'll post like military shit and I'll try to like share lessons. But not once have I ever been like, dude, you suck if you haven't been in combat. Like combat doesn't make you anything. And it's not about the fucked up thing about combat. It's not even about the individual at that point. It's what it does to the communities and like the fucking countries. Like people think they want a war. Dude, America would get fucking hammered. America can't even decide if you're a boy or a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like people think they want like these like countries coming in to like take over us, and they have no idea what it's like to get fucking just destroyed. All this shit people spew. They have no idea what it's like to be oppressed or suffer. And that's what they're asking for. Forgive my debt. Erase my college debt that I needed. Fucking, that's the problem in the first place. You want everyone to fucking hold your hand.
Entitled.
It's just, what a wild place, man. I just want to hunt and shoot guns and shit, and like fucking build businesses and like help people do the same. And but there's always some idiot trying to like ruin my day. I can't believe I've been like sitting on this.
On hunting?
Yeah.
It's addicting, man.
Well, I know I've been getting a lot of comments about like, I need someone to go with me. And I've been trying to tell people like, dude, just like pay the money and get a guide. Like,
Yeah.
create some friendships and get a guide, get the full experience. Because I know I had a lot of questions. Like, dude, when I first started to learn this, I'm like, dude, do you just like walk into the woods? Like, what? Do I just leave my truck on the side of the road? Like, I didn't know this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I park next to other people? Like, what happens if I get an animal? Like, what do I do with it?
Yeah, man. When I first like started getting into it, I grew up in the city, so we didn't do any of this kind of shit. I honestly probably didn't even know what an elk was growing up.
Yeah, I just saw my first elk when I was with you the other day, last week.
Oh, yeah.
Last.
Then I would see them on like shows and stuff, watching hunting videos and stuff. Pretty much everything that I know about hunting is like self-taught. And then watching dudes on YouTube and different TV shows and shit like that. And then just getting out and doing it.
Right.
But yeah, I've been with several people hunting, but I get fucking annoyed, like the way that they walk or the way that they eat or the way that they look, or you know what I mean? It's just like,
Which is weird because you see me eat all the time. Do you want some beef jerky? Okay.
yeah, but I can tolerate that.
Yeah,
Most of the time you eat my snacks too, so.
Eating what?
My snacks.
You pack the good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's just like being on a fucking team. Like it's very important to have like people you like, and you don't, in the military, you don't always get to pick your team.
Yeah.
Or very rarely do you ever get to, but you're with each other so long and you're kind of like aligned towards the same thing. So it like, you know, you always have like the onesie or twosies that are fucking weirdos. But yeah, like with this stuff, like I'm the same way. Like some like small shit people do just annoys me.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. I can tolerate you a little bit.
What? What'd you say?
I said you're right. I mean, I know I could be a dick, so like the fact that you can tolerate me, it's pretty good. I don't know if I can tolerate our
Success rate?
Huh?
Our success rate?
What are you talking about?
Well, right now we're not successful.
We have not been successful.
Successful in harvesting an animal. I think successful in everything else, though.
Yeah, I'm about to go back to my guide service. Both those guided hunts. One was a guided hunt, and then the other one was just a private property. They're both private properties. Private land. Muley and whitetail.
Yeah, private land's nice. This is the hard shit. Over the counter public land.
So what would you give like a tip for like someone who like they want to get into hunting but like they don't even know what to do? Like what would you say?
Like they want to get into it, or they're like ready to go, like they've got all their gear and shit? And
what would you say, like what's the basic stuff you need? Like the top 5 basic things, like someone can afford it. Probably the most expensive thing being the rifle. Like what do you think they need? What do they need?
Yeah, I mean, a rifle or a bow, good gear, like do your research on gear, figure out what works best for you. Like binoculars, like the essentials I would say is like, depending on where you're gonna hunt, but binoculars for sure. Even if you're in deep, like thick timber, good set of binoculars is still something good to have. And then like good camo, like good pants, good jackets.
Not necessarily the camouflage pattern, but like something like durable.
I think that's like, that's personal preference. Yeah, and then like good, I mean, it falls under gear as well, but like a good knife, a good pack. knowing where you're going and like the habitat that animal's gonna live in, and how to, like, you can't just go out and hunt elk. You know, elk, everybody says elk are where elk are, right? You have to know their habitat and what they like and what they need, like a good game plan, and then
Yeah,
having backup spots too, you know?
all that shit sounds confusing. I would just say save up or get a friend, find a friend or make a friend and create a fellowship, or spend the money and get a guide.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
create a fellowship with that guide.
I would, if it's your first hunt and you know somebody who knows how to hunt or has done some sort of hunting, then you're going to learn more than you will on your own. And then getting a guide too. I mean, guides get paid to do that.
Yeah, this isn't like Hunger Games where like, you know, you have to like figure it out all out right now by yourself. But like this is definitely something, especially with like I always felt confident I could kill an animal if need be. It was like after that, I don't know what to do. And so I know being with people who knew how to do that made it really not only easy, but it made it like reassuring, like, hey, like confident building, like, hey, I can do this.
Took my wife's uncle out 2 years ago. I think it was, 2 years ago for whitetail, and he's been hunting his whole life. Never got a deer.
Really?
Never got an elk. And kept bugging him. I was like, dude, just come out with me. Like, I know a great spot. You can get one, like, for sure that day. I was so confident. And it was like middle of November, and went out there. Probably an hour later, I spotted a deer, and he was probably 200 or 300 yards away from me set up. And I went to text him and say, hey, there's a deer coming your way. And I just hear bang. And then probably 5-10 minutes later, he comes walking up to me shaking. He's like, I just shot a buck. So he went there and stood over the buck that he shot, and he was like crying because he was so happy, and he like thanked me over and over. And that right there was like so fucking rewarding.
Right.
Because somebody who's been hunting their whole life, and like me not growing up hunting, and then just self-taught kind of shit, and then getting that satisfaction of having somebody else harvest their first animal is fucking unbeatable.
Yeah, that's how I felt with the when my mule deer hunt was my first hunt I did. And I had 2 guides for that. It was a nonprofit that took me. So I had 2 guides, and they were like super rad. You're gonna eat that thing, dude. That thing's gonna feed your family. And you did that, you know?
Yeah.
Not some factory, not some dude that's having a shitty day processing your meat. You did that.
Yeah, it was like my first elk I got last year.
Oh, that sausage is so good.
Dude, yeah, it is. I got it with my bow.
Wait, that elk we eaten was with a bow?
Yeah, 57 yards with my bow. And it was 2 days before I had my ankle surgery. So I was like...
You should tell people how you had how your ankle got hurt.
I gotta make up a different story than jumping out of the bed of my truck.
But
it's lifted though, and I'm like
4 feet tall.
5'8".
Hey, height matters.
Probably like 5'9" with these boots on.
You were over at my house, right?
Yeah. Jumped out of we were gonna build a chicken coop the next day.
I was getting ready to head to Mexico with this nonprofit called Vets. And I was going down there to do a ceremony, and I called 2 of my friends, Joaquin and Shane, to come over. It's snowy. This is what, November time frame? November of last year. And I need to build this chicken coop. And so I started building it throughout the daytime, and I just was having a hard time. And they came over to lend a hand. And dude, we're working all the way to like midnight to get this chicken coop done. And I got my truck stuck. They helped me get it unstuck. And then Joaquin, did you do it at my house?
Yeah. We were unloading the chicken wire.
Jumps out of his truck. Hurts his ankle. Come to find out he has to have surgery on it. So, but you guys were savages, dude. Stayed there till like literally midnight.
But yeah, I shot it 2 days before my surgery. 57 yards. Got it home, started butchering it and stuff like that. And then that night I was like, I'm going to cook up some of the back straps. And I had hunted every single day of archery season, all day, every day, and didn't see one elk the whole time.
Really?
And it was that was the last day last day of the season, and so I started cooking up the back straps and got dinner all ready and went to go sit down, and I see my son like with his head down on the table, and I was like calling, and I was like, what's going on, dude? And he's like crying, like sobbing, and I was like, why are you crying, dude? Does it taste like shit? And he goes, no, it's so good, and you worked so hard to get it. And I was like,
Oh, that's awesome.
that was like a super proud moment. So now every time we take out some of that elk, he gets so excited. They love it too. I mean, Alyssa doesn't really like, she'll eat venison, but she's not a huge fan of it. The kids will eat it up, I'll eat it, but elk she'll just devour.
The elk is so good.
Dude, it's fucking amazing.
Dude, that sausage you had made is like,
The jalapeno cheddar.
we have like one package left in the freezer, and I just look at it like, when they tell me like 30 minutes from now the fucking nuclear bomb's gonna go off, I'm going to like cook it, and I'm not gonna share it with anybody. Stephanie, I'll share. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
But no one else. Well, I mean, if you're there at my house, I'll share with you because it's your meat you provided. Dude, we gotta get a spider scope.
Yeah. That tripod's gonna make a difference too. There's not a lot of places up here that you can do this kind of glassing though, you know?
Yeah, which is why I didn't like really like jump on the spotting scope instantly, but something like this, like these binos are great, but for like that investigative, like deep search, this ain't gonna.
Oh yeah. Well, like that one thing I was looking at, I was like, is that an elk? Is that an elk bedded down? I can't tell because I can't zoom in anymore.
I know I definitely want to like hunt more across the country next year, so I know the spotting scope will kind of come into play. My friend's got a bunch of property on the East Coast, but I don't think a spotting scope is really used in the East Coast, at least where he's at.
Nah, everything's like, I mean, compared to here, it's flat.
Yeah.
You know, I started hunting whitetail in central New York, and I mean, there's so many whitetail there. It's like a nuisance. And every other field is a cow pasture or cornfield, so they get pretty big. But
Bro,
yeah, I didn't even use binos.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
cause
can get away with like a rangefinder.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
What if we?
Unless you're like shooting, but even the fields are flat. You know?
What if we bought those Rambo bikes? Do you think those would be good?
The electric ones?
Yeah.
I'd rather do it on horseback, man. My goal by next year is to have like 4 or 5 horses, mountain ready.
Well, you can try out, bring up the horses, and I'll load out everything else in the Porsche.
You'd be
Dude,
like
it's gonna happen.
Rudolph in the front of the pack line.
Dude, it's gonna fucking happen.
The thing's pretty sick.
Dude, it's so sick. That car like really excites me. Well, that's it for this position. We're gonna go find another one, start glassing. Hope you enjoy a little bit of our conversation. And as always, if you like the content and want to support me in achieving my goal for this year to reach 100,000 subscribers, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And if there's any particular video or content you want to see, just let me know in the comments below. And as always, I appreciate you. Defy the norm.